the We Wreck Records podcast.
How did Zyon, I mean, his first ever presence on your music was the opening, his prenatal heartbeat on Chaos AD. Like, and now this is his time where he's actually stepping into the producer's chair after he's co-wrote with you on Totem.
I said to him, like, right in the beginning of the process, like, how you feel about producing this record? You know, he kind of freaked out, but I was like, it would be cool because you're young and you're hungry, man. You want those things. You remind me of me when I was 18, when I was 17, when I was making Beneath the Remains, you know, and I wanted all those things. Like, this is the fire that I need. I remember them sleeping on guitar cases with Ozzy singing in the background on the 1999, 90, 2000 Ozfests. And here they are with blankets and pacifiers and pillows, sleeping on guitar cases. Ozzy's fucking singing in the background. And I'm like, yeah, man, they're born in this life. Reminds me of early Soulfly when we did Jump the Fuck Up. You know, it was like that same kind of. I remember when we heard Jump the Fuck Up for the first time, we were all like high-fiving in the studio, like headbanging. I remember, looking at chords like, oh man, what a banger, man. We just made an amazing song. This is the greatest feeling in the world.
Hi, I'm Christina. Welcome to We Wreck Records.
Hi, I'm Chris Enriquez from New Noise Magazine. Welcome to We Wreck Records.
It is great to be here. We have a very special guest, Max Cavalera, a legend in heavy metal, in culture, in all of the things. He's here to talk with us all about Soulfly and their new album, Lucky 13th album, Chama? Chama. Okay. Brazilian word for flame. It's fiery.
Yeah. You guys can say whatever. You can call it Chama, Shama. It doesn't matter.
I like
It's
Chama.
yeah. It's kind of it's almost like a slang for flame, for fire, but also means calling. You can be calling somebody, it's a weird word that I chose for the record, but I think it's kind of cool. It's got mystique. It's a kind of mysterious a little bit.
Do you see fire imagery as positive or dangerous or dark or all of the things?
I think it's positive, man. I think means you're fired up. And to me, like this record, being inspired for a record is such a hard thing after you've done so many records like like I done. Um, it's a rare moment where you're really truly inspired. And I felt this on this record. I went in full, like laser focus, inspired, totally excited. And then from the moment we got the name of the record, like working with my kids, I had Zyon and Igor, both of them on board with me on the record. It was kind of like one of those rare moments. It reminded me of the beginning of Soulfly, actually. It was
Awesome.
kind of like how this whole thing got started in the first place, kind of came out of nowhere, and it was so exciting to make a new band, make something new, exciting. And I think like you can't take for granted that you are inspired because it doesn't happen all the time. And I've been in the dumps where you're not inspired and you got to make a record. It's like torture, it's like pulling teeth. When you're not inspired, it sucks, and you got to do it because you have to do the record no matter what. Um, and sometimes the opposite. Sometimes when there's a lot of pressure, you make a really good record too. When there's a lot of pressure on you to make something good,
Totally.
which is
I was
kind of
going to
like
actually, I was going to ask you about that because I've been a fan of everything you've done, Max. Like Kill or Be Killed was actually one of my favorite projects, and that's saying a lot because we could talk about Nailbomb all day, but that was a curiosity for me. Writing for you with your massive discography and all of these bands, it's incredible to me that you're able to stay fresh and find that inspiration. I mean, you were kind of talking about that just now, but it's got to be challenging. And with this record, I feel like, from what I've heard, it is very fresh and it's got
Mm.
classic, Max Cavalera, songwriting on there. I love it. How do you dig deep and find that fire, so to speak, to put on a
Totally.
new record and and
Mm.
and and maintain that consistency.
And also,
Man,
how did Zion play a part? How did Zion? I mean, his first ever presence on your music was the opening, his prenatal heartbeat on Chaos AD. Like, and now this is his time where he's actually stepping into the producer's chair after he's co-wrote with you on Totem. I know he all the songs were written by you prior to that. How be a part, you know, as Chris said, how did he play a role in this inspiration and the next generation and all of that sort of thing? And, you know, obviously having Igor as well.
yeah, I mean, Zion's presence on Chama is super important. I cannot tell you how important it was because it was so cool. Um, I produced Soulfly records before, like Prophecy, Dark Ages, and so I said to him like right in the beginning of the process, like, how you feel about producing this record? You know, he kind of freaked out, but I was like, it would be cool because you're young and you're hungry, man. You want those things. You remind me of me when I was 18, when I was 17, when I was making Beneath the Remains, you know, and I wanted all those things. Like this is the fire that I need. I need somebody, you know. I'm old, man. I produced records already. You don't want me to produce this thing. I'm telling you, you don't want me produce. You want to produce this album. It'd be cool if you produce. So okay, I sold him on that, you know. Like I got him to produce, and it was the coolest because he was so excited, and but also he was challenging me in a way that I haven't been challenged in the studio before. Stuff like I'll do a riff, and it's like, it's okay. Can it be better? You know, who are you to tell me can it be better? You know, but that's what's cool because he's not just a yes man. You know, he's actually challenged me to do a better something better than I already did. So I go back to the drawing board and make something better out of it. You know. And then we had all the pedals, man, all the noise. The record is full of noise everywhere. It's great. I love it. And that's the combination of Zion and Arthur together, the Arthur Rizek. He and Zion like produced this thing together, and it was so cool to have them both. And I kind of felt again, Shama to me feels similar to records like Beneath the Remains, or Chaos AD or Soulfly One, where yeah, um, like I wanna, I don't have to prove nothing to anybody, but I want to prove something to everybody. You know, kind of that kind of feeling. Like you know, like I don't need to prove nothing to nobody, but you know what? I want to. I want to fucking show these motherfuckers I still got it. You know, the fire is still inside. I'm fucking. Let's do it. Let's go. And you kind of have to go kind of like blind faith also. Like I had no idea where this record is gonna go. I just went with it, you know, and just let whatever course it took. It took. It actually became my most Brazilian record I ever made for
Yeah.
some reason. You know, it's crazy. It's got more Brazilian shit in it than any other record. And that's exotic too. That makes the record more exotic, you know. But I'm very excited about the guests. I think it was cool having all these cool guests coming and doing shit. That's kind of also reminds me of early Soulfly. And then of course the challenge to like make really cool songs that gonna inspire you and inspire the people around you. The whole process in general, to me, it was just like an amazing moment working with Zion and Igor together. Igor was making like he was recording bass, and Zion was doing drums. But when we were working on some of the lyrics, I'll actually bring both of them together, and it's like, all right, you motherfuckers gonna help me do these lyrics now, because I hate writing lyrics, you know. And then we sit together and brainstorm on the lyrics of the album, and it came out with the ideas from both of us. And I was thinking about, I remember them sleeping on guitar cases with Ozzy singing in the background on the 1999, 90, you know, 2000 Ozfests. And here they are with blankets and pacifiers and pillows, sleeping on guitar cases. Ozzy's fucking singing in the background. And I'm like, yeah, man, they're born in this life. You know, they're born. they're born in this fucking circus. There's no escape from them. They're gonna end up musicians. There's no way they're not gonna be musicians, you know. So it's like they were groomed from when they were real early to be where they are right now. It's pretty cool.
This show is proudly presented by DistroKid, and we have a special deal for all the musicians out there looking to release their new music fast. DistroKid helps over 2 million musicians around the world release on all major music streaming platforms and YouTube. You keep 100% of your earnings, can access a huge range of features, and if you like this show, support this show by taking advantage of this incredible offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid. Just head to distrokid.com/VIP/WeWreckRecords. This month's episodes of We Wreck Records are brought to you by Earpiece, the high-fidelity earplug brand designed to enhance your experience of live music. Their lightweight, triple patented design basically conforms to the natural shape of your ear canal, which is awesome. And it's the closest thing to custom molded without the price tag or the chronic fear that you're going to lose them. Your future self who wants to listen to live music when you're old will thank you. For 15% off your next pair of earplugs, head to earpiece.com/pages/WWR podcast. We'll put the link in the description. Definitely suss it out. This show is presented by Grillo's Pickles. Grillo's Pickles make the freshest, crunchiest, most delicious pickles. And even if you're not a pickle fan, you should try Grillo's today. Why not? Live a little. You can find them in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store. So chill out and eat a pickle.
Oh, I was just gonna say, "Pain Equals No Power" is a standout track for me from this new album. It's got like all that classic Cavalera vibes that you want to hear, and the melodic vocals on that song are killer. It's amazing, and of course, "Storm the Gates" is out now, the latest single, rips, and it's just a great record. So I think
you.
fans are really going to be in for something.
Thank you. No pain equals no power. It was fun to me because it's one of those songs where actually I believe in the meaning of the song a lot. So when you get behind the meaning and you really believe in what you're singing, it makes it easier for you to fall in love with the song, you know? You're singing about something that you truly believe in. I think this concept of no pain equals no power goes it fits so many different parts of life. It can be like football players, it can be like UFC fighters, you can be it can be like soldiers in war, you know. Without pain there's no power, you know. And then we made the song with Dino. That was another cool thing. We already had a guest on the song. I told Dino, you better give me your best riff ever. I'm not taking your second best. Don't give me your third best. I want the riff that you're gonna regret in a year that you should have saved for Fear Factory. Like I want to talk to you in 1 year and you'll be like, damn it, I should have not give you that riff. That should have been a Fear Factory riff. Like I want to hear those words out of your mouth in a year. So yeah, we got the best riff out of Dino. And then was the cherry on the top was the guest vocals, man. We had this real cool melodic chorus, and I told Arthur like I can't fucking sing melodic, man. Like get somebody else to do this shit. Find somebody, find somebody cool that can sing on those things. And he found two people actually. That was even cooler. We had two guests singing together almost, and it was Gabe from Unto Others and Ben from No Warning, and the voices together are awesome, man. It's such
Yeah.
a yeah. You're right. The song kind of stands out from the rest of the record. It's got you know. It's got a special something
Yeah,
about
no,
it. A little
it's
extra
amazing.
special.
It's got those classic riffs, and then the vocal come in, and it's a fresh take on your sound. So, and Arthur
Yeah,
Rizek is amazing. He's a
yeah,
great
and that was
producer.
kind of what I was going for with it. You know, I wanted something that pop, you know, something that's modern. You know, it's got like a modern influence from what's going on right now, especially with Gabe and Ben singing and you know Dino's riff. Um, yeah, so the record has a lot of like crazy shit like that. I thought it was really cool. Again, reminds me of early Soulfly when we did Jump the Fuck Up. You know, it was like that same kind of I remember when we heard Jump the Fuck Up for the first time, we were all like, high-fiving in the studio, like headbanging. I remember, looking at chords like, oh man, what a banger, man. We just made an amazing song. This is the greatest feeling in the world. Um, and so yes, so it goes back to that feeling of uh when you're making art and magic moments like that happen, you have to enjoy it, man, because they are not often. They don't happen all the time. And I try to teach that to my kids. Like, when you guys experience this, don't think this is normal. It's not normal. It's not gonna happen all the time. And you're gonna have a lot of like shitty moments. You gotta have a lot of shitty moments to get a great moment.
What
Just
what yeah.
just how life is, man. That's just how life works.
What was the first really magic moment going into that first Soulfly album that you remember? Like you were like, because it would have been like, whoa, this is a new frontier. But as you said, you didn't have anything to prove. You just wanted to prove it. So what were the first sort of magic moments of like mapping that out? I mean, it's such an expansive album. You got so many colorful characters, there's
Yeah.
some timeless
It's a
tunes.
little bit long. It's a little bit long, too long for me. I
Yeah.
think I cannot listen to the whole thing. It's like an hour and seven. It's like a fucking Pink Floyd record. Um, so I can't stay with it. uh, I think the first magic moment was the demo actually, because I didn't want to. Right after I broke up, left Sepultura, I was like, I'm done with this shit. Like, it's too much heartache. I can't deal with it, So I was like depression. Then I had this. I talk about this the other day on another interview. We had this dinner at Ozzy's house when I'm talking in Ozzy's living room, and he's pretty much gave me the whole spiel about it's up to you to get back on your feet. You know, fuck it, go for it, go find your dream, make a new band, set the world on fire type conversation. And I was like, holy shit, Ozzy just inspired me to make a new band. Like, I better make this shit work. So I went back home inspired by this talk. And of course, Gloria is also always like trying to like shaking me, like, you go right, go make a song. So I finally grabbed the guitar and I wrote Eye for an Eye. I made a demo that has Eye for an Eye and No back to back. And we walk in Roadrunner with this cassette. No band. We had no musicians. We only had the cassette with those two songs. And we play for Monty. He was the A&R at Roadrunner. And like, just press play. And he's all like, oh yeah. Yeah, this is awesome, man. You're back. Like, you never left. So that was cool. That was a magic thing. Like, out of a demo, like, so much power can come
Mm.
just out of you yourself with the making a demo by yourself. That's before we have anybody in the band. So that was a really cool, interesting how this whole thing came about, man.
Mm.
And even the name, I think the name was like nobody in the label knew the name. I was doing a TV show in Paris with the Deftones, and we are doing the song "Head Up" that says "Soulfly" in the song. And then right there live on TV, I say, my new band's called Soulfly,
Mad.
you know. And I think that's kind of like right before social media, so right before internet. So it wasn't, if that was today, that would have spread out like fire on the internet. Oh, Max got a new band, new name. But it was before all that. So it took a little longer for people to catch up to it. But yeah, it was things like that that made it special. Um to make the beginning of Soulfly. And that's kind of like what I was trying to be re-inspired for Chama. I think Chama, in terms of music, it doesn't sound nothing like Soulfly 1, but in terms of attitude, is very similar. Is a lot of the same kind of attitude
Mm.
that we had on Soulfly 1 is back again on Chama, which feels really cool.
Mm. Lyrically, it's really interesting. Like I love, and it's like themes you've talked about before, like, the contrast of like tribal power, collective humanist strength of the tribe versus like power concentrated in a few short hands that doesn't really spread to the world. How has your sort of perspective on that been formed? How's it been affected by the last few years? The world is in a weird place. We're not really, there's so much going on that doesn't support the tribe. I often think like, what's it going to take for us to return to that? Is it going to be like a cataclysmic climate event and suddenly we're all going to go, well, we're all going to have to go to the forest and live by the fire and build build some huts and
Yeah.
live properly? I don't know. Like what's your take on it, especially at this like particular moment in time?
Yeah, so I was thinking a lot about that when I made the first two songs on the record, the intro of the album, which is called Indigenous Inquisition.
Mm.
To me, it's really interesting because it's got all this power ritual music, I call it, because it's like a ritual. It's got the drums and the heavy guitars, and you feel like you're inside of a fucking ritual. And underneath all those noises, I'm screaming names of tribes that are extinct. They are no longer here. Some South American, some Native American. I just did a bunch of research on the internet and I found a bunch of extinct tribes that used to be here 100 years ago and they're no longer here.
Whoa.
So it's a bit of a ominous, dark beginning of a record, but it's truth also. It's like it's a hard truth. We killed those fucking tribes. We did it, and they're no longer here with us. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna kill the rest of them? Or are we gonna make sure they stay alive and we can, all the values and the wisdom that they carry with them. And that becomes part of Storm the Gates. Becomes a little bit more like, I got the tribe, and that's all I need. Like I'm down with the tribe. I don't give a fuck. We're gonna take the take back the power, take back the land. It's up, everything is ruined. It's up to us. Change the world. If you don't like your world, change your world. Type song. It's really positive actually. Like
Yeah.
kind of like a refuse and resist, but a little bit more like on the positive side of it, but also has a little bit of that riot element. Let's storm the gates of this motherfucker, let's do it, let's go for it, let's hold those accountable for all the politicians, the people that promise their shit. Let's hold them accountable for the words, that type of feeling to it. It was pretty cool. um there's different stuff on the record, like Nihilist was cool. It was actually dedicated to LG from Entombed. I kind of like doing that. I wait a couple years. People do tributes right when somebody die, and that's cool. I love that. But I sometimes like to wait a couple years and then do a tribute.
Mm.
I did that on Dark Ages. There was a song called uh um uh fuck, what the hell is it called?
You've done a lot of songs.
And it was dedicated to Bob Marley, and it was cool because it was not done when he died, but years and years later, like I waited many years, and this is the same, LG has been dead since 21. Uh, but I was inspired by all his music, the whole Entombed discography. His first band was called Nihilist, so I called the song Nihilist. Um, and then there's some stuff in Portuguese. Actually, the song "Always Was, Always Will Be" is inspired by Aboriginal. That's an
Yeah.
Aboriginal,
I because
right?
I read that and I'm like, that's out. Well, that's out. That's a terrible thing for me to say. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Because I read
Yeah,
that and I'm like, I didn't know that that's our First Peoples thing that they've said that's about Terra Nullius and it's about reclaiming land that belongs to them. And it's like when they have anti-immigration rallies here, it's like, I hate to tell you, but it's not our land. Like, never has been, always will be. So that's really
yeah, yeah.
cool you pay tribute to that because I was like, oh, like I've as an Australian who respects the people, one of the oldest living cultures in the world, that means a lot for you to do that.
Yeah, and it was the last time I was in Australia, and I was watching TV, and this documentary came on, and it was like a 2 hour documentary about Aboriginal lifestyle, and it was called "Always Was and Always Will Be," and I wrote down on my notebook. Like I carry a notebook with me because like I'm horrible with ideas. I forget it if I don't write it down. So I wrote down on my notebook, oh, this is a fucking cool name. This is, yeah, always was, always will be. Yeah, it's very Soulfly, you know? So, so I wrote down his notebook, and, many months went by, and then we needed a song, and there it was. Like, let's use that. That's a very inspiring, it's very Aboriginal. It connects to the whole tribal aspect of the record. And it's kind of cool because inside of this song, all of my words are in Portuguese. Everything I sing on this song is all in Brazilian.
Ah,
It's like it's very Brazilian kind of song, but the music is actually very Godflesh. It's like drum machine. We didn't even use a real drums. It's all electronic shit, noise, drum machine, kind of,
Yeah,
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 very
I know that
Godflesh.
Igor. Yeah, Igor does a lot of stuff like that these days,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I
yeah.
love.
So it
Yeah.
was inspired by my brother's shit too, all his noise shit.
You know,
that's really
I
And
was gonna bring that up too because like one of the things about Soulfly when you guys first formed that I found intriguing was how much you embrace other genres of music and you know, as a metalhead, a lot of metalheads are either purists or sort of gatekeepers, and like you have never been that way. There's elements of not just tribal music, but even with the collabs that you had some folks from hip hop and new metal acts and other subgenres. And I think that's important as part of the history of Soulfly. Would you agree with that statement? Because I always felt like that with what you do in that band particularly.
I will agree, and I will even go further that I think like most of my a lot of exotic ideas that I had in my career, they came from outside of metal. They were influenced by shit like Dead Can Dance and um, Peter Gabriel, Paul Simon, Bob Marley, whatever. Um, and I hate the gatekeeping mentality where only you are allowed to like this music. And if you like something else, you can't come in here. I fucking hate that. It's like, that's bullshit. I like hardcore. I like industrial music. I like punk music. I like death metal. Who are you to say I cannot listen to all of those? Like, right? You're not gonna tell me what I can and what I can't listen to, man. I'm my own person, my own mind. Um, so yeah, it's kind of similar a little bit to like Nailbomb. We just did these Nailbomb shows in Europe where there's a part of the show we play a song called Word of Shit. And my son Igor actually he lectures the crowd. He'll go on the microphone and say, if there's any racist, bigot, sexist motherfuckers here right now, make yourself known so we can kick you the fuck out of here right now.
Right
You know,
on, right on.
it was such a cool thing. It was like, holy shit. He's calling everybody out. Like,
tribe has
you
spoken.
have the you have the balls to say that you are those things. Let me see if you have the balls so we can kick you the fuck out because you don't belong here. Like this music is not for you type shit. Man, it was cool. Um, and you gotta have the balls to do that kind of shit. And I was like, wow, a kid has balls. It was great.
Yeah, man.
Kudos to Igor. That's we need more of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
proper
really
punk
cool.
rock. What Oh, this is a slight sideline. The Xavanthes tribe that you went into the forest with,
Right.
for roots. Yeah, back in the day. How much, like, what did you kind of bring back to music from that experience? Like, because obviously, Brazil, you guys have done so much to make people put their culture into metal, like it was quite significant. I don't know what kind of stuff
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a real cool question because we I don't know. It changed me as a person those 3 days, and it's crazy. 'Cause it was only 3 days. I was yeah. I felt like I was discovering the real Brazil that I never really that I heard about it when I was a kid, but I never got to really see it, and I was actually experienced firsthand with them. And the first thing I noticed is how much they don't discriminate. You know, like it was cool. They were looking at my tattoos as something they never saw before. They're touching it, trying to erase. I remember one little kid, he's like trying to erase my eyeball, you know? And I'm looking at him like, nah, you can do that all day, man. It's not coming off. Um, there's a curiosity thing, but
Mm,
there was also they were not there's no prejudice, you know. They almost like how they paint themselves is their tattoo, is their way to uh be
yeah.
different from society in general. Um, and then I got, I always been in awe of tribal life anyway. In general, I always found him like completely mystical, and especially when it comes to like rituals and getting power from the other world, other
Mm.
sources, spiritual sources, whatever you call it. I always found that fascinating, and that's kind of like those 3 days changed me as a person. I came out of that tribe like I'm a new person with more respect and admiration for tribal culture more than ever. That's why we went hard on roots and continue on Soulfly One, and continue to today. Like I think my love for tribalism. And I mean, what's cool about this record could have been called Tribal Technology, actually, because it's the mix of tribal shit with technology, with, with the sounds and the noises that you make with computer noises, with drums and percussion, the technology and the tribalism together. And I think that's interesting about Chama, is that this fusion of those two elements coming together, almost like you shouldn't put them together, but we're gonna put them anyway. Like we're gonna fucking
Yeah.
force it and do it anyway. And
File. Create a
it's
file.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes it something like organic, man. It's cool. I love that. I love the fact that the record has that. We had all the tribal shit, we had all the percussion, and then Arthur and Zion put all this fucking noise on top of it. Some of it was like even burying some of my riffs, and I didn't even care. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah, I don't care. I write riffs no matter what. You can bury my riff with noises. It's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It makes the song more exciting, you know?
Those 3 days that you spent out there also changed metal, forever, because I think after you put out Roots and Soulfly One, there were a lot of bands that I think were inspired, Slipknot being one of them. I feel like they wouldn't have sounded the way that they ended up sounding without those contributions that you made after those 3 days of being inspired by the tribes. And I certainly hear that on the new record. And it's a fresh take on your classic sound. So, excellent question, Christine. I was always curious about that, and that was something I always wanted to know about in that history. So, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, the most one of the most scary things was actually flying there, because we flew on these planes that looked like a Volkswagen. Yeah, it looked like a 1968 Volkswagen that you could just open the door and jump out of the plane. There's actually doorknobs on the fucking thing. Uh, and we had a generator. And once the generator died, once you run out of a battery, that's it. I hope you record everything you need to record
Gee.
on so there was all this pressure to get this thing recorded right, but we got it, man. It was cool. It was such a cool moment to be just be part of that, and all of that coming out of a drunk dream too. That's great. I love that. Like I got drunk one night. I was watching a movie called "A Place in the Fields of the Lord," and watching the movie, tripping out on drunk on the fucking wine. And next morning, I told Gloria, we need to record on a tribe. We got to go to a Brazilian tribe, you know. And her first reaction was like, "Yeah, you're not Michael Jackson. I don't know how we're gonna do that. I don't think I don't think we have the infrastructure to do that. I don't think we have the budget. You know, like this is crazy." I'm like, "Well, I don't care. That's the idea. You make it happen." You know,
The queen gets it
the
done.
ball is in your court now.
Yeah.
I thought of the idea, and she made it happen,
Of
man.
course
Which
you
is
did. Yeah.
it's that's one of the amazing things. Like I can tell Gloria crazy ideas like that,
It's
and she
beautiful.
makes it happen. It's cool. It's so amazing.
That's a
Kind of
bit
like Brian Wilson when he was making, the Pet Sounds record. I need sand in my house, and I need all this stuff. It's like you make it happen, and then the creative juices start flowing.
Listen, man, there's so much stuff that I believe, and people might watch this interview and just think, yeah, this guy is out of his mind, and I don't care really. Um, when we made the first Soulfly record, we recorded in Indigo Ranch, right in California, and it's in Malibu. It's in a hill, watching, overlooking the ocean. But I found out that that was tribal land 300 years before. That was all tribal land. So I had this idea that we should bury all the master tapes under the ground so we can put all the tribal spirits into the recordings. Um, so there's a picture of Chino on the first record. He's got a shovel in his hand. And the reason he's got a shovel is because we just got done making holes to put the tapes on the ground. So yeah, so we made these big ass holes. We put all that was still when we were recording big tapes. It was like the analog recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bury all of them, man. Bury all the
It
tapes.
worked.
Was that?
It worked.
It worked. The record was.
Yeah, like it worked.
Yeah. That was
my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it worked.
Chino. Okay, so Chino's been a part of your music and Chino's been a part of your life and he's good friends with your son Dana and stuff. How did you guys meet? Tell me about the Chino relationship.
Very first time I met Chino was through Dana, which is my stepson, Gloria's son. He passed away in '96. They were playing a little venue here in Phoenix, and Dana had gave me the first record, Adrenaline, and I was listening to it already, and I liked it. So I grabbed my guitar and I learned Engine Number 9 on guitar. And I was like, well, let's go see them. I'm gonna play the song with them tonight. I already learned the song. Fuck it. Like there's nothing to lose. And they were playing in front of 30 people, man. It was like their second time in Arizona ever.
Mad.
And I jumped on the stage with them, and we did Engine Number 9. And it was great. They were like freaking out because they were all big Max fans. Like I can't believe playing with us in this shithole. And to me, it was cool. It's like I'm mingling with the new generation, because Deftones are like a new thing right at that moment. So it felt fresh and new. And then Dana passed away. He was really good, real good friends with Chino. They make their second record around the fur. They put a picture of Dana on the record, and then I get a phone call asking me if I want to be on the record. Um, and they didn't say like I did with Dino, like give me your best riff. They never said that. But I treated like if they had said that. So I went and looked through all my riffs, my whole closet full of riffs, and I found that one. The one that you even hate to give it out. It's like this would have been such a good Soulfly riff. I can't believe I'm giving this one. Anyway, here, this is your riff, handmade by Max. Here you go, guys. Have at it. And that's the head up riff that I fucking love the riff.
Yeah.
To this day, it's like top 5 of my favorite riffs of all time. But it was so cool because they we made that together in the studio in Seattle. And yeah, I actually remember recording the vocals with Chino. We both singing, jumping, and he hits his knee in his nose and gets a bloody nose, like right in the middle of the studio. There's blood everywhere. I was like, fuck yeah.
Rock and roll.
I'm like, this is like no other recording I've been part of it, man. This guy's drawing blood right now. Yes, yes.
Let's go.
I'm in. I'm in all the way, man. It was such a cool moment. And then whenever I have a chance to do head up with them live, we did it in Australia at I forgot the name of the
Festival?
festival.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also blanking on it, but I was there.
Yeah, one of your
One
big
of the good
festivals.
ones. Yeah, yeah. Good things, maybe? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah, it
Possibly.
was good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And whenever I have a chance to do, but our connection goes back to the beginning of Soulfly. It's really cool. And then he ended up singing on first Soulfly and Primitive on
Mm.
both of them.
Pain. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, really cool. It's a really cool Soulfly, Deftones, Dana connection all together, you know. And I love the fact that Chino and Dana were like almost like real good friends. And because of them, it's because of Dana that I got to meet them, you know, like it makes it real special to me.
Yeah.
On the collabs, you've done so many. I think that even on this record too, what are some of your favorite collabs throughout your career? Because I mean, we could Chino's up there, Corey Taylor. You even had folks from Cypress Hill, and the list goes on. I think you had Fred Durst at one point, if I'm not
Yeah. Tom
mistaken.
Araya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's like asking your favorite kids. That's
Yeah.
hard. You're gonna, you're gonna hurt some people if you don't say their names. So I'm gonna say I love all of them. Yeah. Well, I tell you that one of some of the most memorable ones, Sean Lennon was fucking great. That was on Primitive. You know, I was like working with the son of a Beatle. I was like, oh shit. And he didn't want to stay in a hotel, so he just stayed in our house, man, which was made it even crazier. And Gloria is a huge Beatles fan. Like I'm not a Beatles fan. I can't care less much for the Beatles. Like I missed that boat, you know.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like I like Black Sabbath, you know.
Yeah, man. With you.
Um, but 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 for her it was like a huge thing that Sean is here, you know, and
Cool.
we made our song for our dads, which is kind of cool, you know. It's called Sun Song, and we both lost our dads when we were real young, and it's that feeling of you entering, you becoming a man, and you no longer have a father to guide you. That was the idea behind the song. You're on your own, pretty much, you know.
It must be,
But you
yeah.
have the presence of your dad with you all the time, you know.
It must be amazing getting to be a dad and a grandfather and have this whole tribe and be, have raised them from being on the side of stage in little things to now being these incredible musicians. I believe one of your sons is on the New Noise magazine cover coming up.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Yeah, actually, I would be
You
remiss
right?
if I did mention that we have Incite on the front cover of our magazine, which is of course your stepson Richie Cavalera. So we
Yeah.
got to shout them out.
Yeah, very happy for them. And that record came out fire. You know, they did a great job. And Rich is always fighting, bro. Like he's been at this thing for, many, many years when it's not really going good. Like he doesn't give up. So I was like, that's so cool, man. You don't give up. That's awesome. That's a beautiful thing. That relentless passion, even
Mhm.
when it's not going good. you know and then finally they finally found a label that's a good label, Rising Phoenix, and is behind them. They're doing great things, and thank you for putting them on the cover. So yeah, the house is crazy. It's a full metal house. Sometimes I wish, not to rip off the Osbornes, but if we had a feeling like the Osborne, it would have been fucking funny as shit,
dude, can
because
you
we got,
please? Oh my
yeah.
God, I would watch that till the cows came home. Oh,
Yeah,
the
I don't think
Cavalier.
Gloria will ever. She'll never go for it. Like you, Max, you're too crazy. They don't want to see some of the shit that you do.
Oh God, that's just, I'm just gonna imagine
No,
that
the
for a while. I could binge watch that. I just know, yeah,
But
you guys are great,
at the
man.
same token, we are a full-on, no holds barred, fucking metal family, and we fight with each other. And sometimes I'm fucking screaming at my kids, like I'm fighting with Zyon, like he doesn't like to play some of the songs, and I'm like, what do you mean you don't like to play the fucking songs? You were in the song, you wrote them with me, like what do you mean you don't want to play them? You're gonna fucking play them tonight, like full on arguments like that, it's fucking
I mean,
funny.
these are the type of family arguments that I don't think most people can relate to. I would watch the show if it existed, and the Cavalera conspiracy would have been a great name for it, but
Yeah.
it's taken.
Yeah. There's been so many moments, um, so many great moments like that. That's just funny shit. It's cool. We put a little bit of that on our social media. Gloria does Instagram. I try to post funny shit because I think people like funny shit. So I think my Instagram is more. I like she posts a lot of serious stuff. It's gonna make my image really good and all that. And I was like, that's all good.
Memes.
But I like the funny shit. That was one. I went to a guy's house and he had a headbanging bird. So he put the headbanging bird in my fucking right here on my shoulder, and we're both headbanging. And I think my friend had his phone. He was playing "Motionless in White." And that's the song, and I don't even really knew the song or nothing, but we're both headbanging, and it was a cool moment. And that's my favorite video on my Instagram is the headbanging bird, man. It was cool, and I was like, that's the kind of shit I like for my Instagram.
Yeah, man.
Incredible. I can see you have a sense of humor by the Bucky's little thing that you have right behind you. I see on your chair.
Oh yeah, this is essential. It's a blanket.
Yes, absolutely.
Anybody that tours America, they gotta know about Bucky's. You need a Bucky's in Australia.
Yeah, we
Yes,
really
you
do. We need to
do.
sort ourselves
There
out.
should be a Bucky's with a kangaroo and
Australian band on your chest, shouting out
What's that?
Australian. You got wearing an Australian band t-shirt, going
Oh
to
yeah, King Parrot. I just saw them last week.
yeah. No, they're good guys. Yeah, you
Parrot,
got
it
a
was
bit of a
cool.
shout out to Australia. I've always was, always will be. I feel acknowledged. I feel like we've been a part of
It-
Soulfly's
It's,
journey.
almost- it's part Aboriginal somehow,
Yeah,
somewhat.
there's
You
a,
know,
there's a connect.
it's
Um,
it, it's cool.
yeah, cool. Well, thanks for making a great album and a bunch of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks.
And
Thanks for the conversation. This was
Yeah,
fun. I didn't felt like an interview. Felt more like we're just shooting the shit, which is great.
yeah. Well, this is good. This is the vibe we want. So, yeah, Chris, did you have any final words?
you know what? I wanted to just echo what Max just said. Like, Max, I've interviewed you and your brother, and I've had seen many, and you're just a positive person, and I really appreciate the way that your presence exists in heavy music and just everything
Hey,
you
man.
do. And it's a great
Thank you.
album, and I can't wait for people to hear it because I've been listening to it ever since I got the advanced copy, and it's wonderful, man. It's just another gem in your catalog. So congrats
Thank
to
you,
you,
brother.
and congrats to the family and your bandmates.
Yeah, it's some helicopter headbang material. I like
Yeah.
to get there. I'm like, oh, I'm
I think
17 again. This is sick.
I think
Yeah,
all the headbanging parrots around the world are really going to appreciate this
yeah,
one.
100%. On that note, this was We Wreck Records. I'm Christina. This is Chris. This is the Almighty Max. You should go suss out the new Soulfly. This is a good time. Party on. Wayne.
October 24th.